Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do my Elite 2 joystick mod for the ROG Ally X. The first thing you're going to need is the STLs that can be found on my MakerWard page. There are two options. I recommend trying the looser one first, and if it doesn't sit on the stem of the joystick module securely, try the tighter tolerance version. If you want to use the longer sticks from the Extremerates set, you will also need two of the extension parts. These can all be printed in PLA, but PETG and resin are also some great options. I printed using the stock 0.4mm nozzle of the Bamboo Labs A1, and for the best results you want to print it at the highest quality possible with your printer. Mine were printed on a raft on a smooth PEI sheet, but you can also use a textured plate too, as you can't see the bottom of the sticks when the mod is done. I used tree supports and unticked to remove small overhangs. There are similar settings in Cura and the other slicers too. The Extremerates kit comes with two standard length flat sticks, one standard length dome stick, one long concave stick, and two standard length concave sticks, meaning that you will need to either buy two sets or source your own second domed or long stick. Personally, I prefer the flat sticks. Once your prints are done, they should look something like this. You will need 6 4mm diameter, 2mm thick magnets for this mod. I recommend getting ones rated at N52 strength, and you can find a link to some in the description. First thing we're going to do is apply some super glue to the top of the sticks. You really don't need a lot, so I dipped a needle into the glue and used that to get the perfect amount on there. Now we can put the magnet on and press it down to spread the glue underneath it. The orientation of the magnet doesn't matter at this point, as long as both sticks are the same. If you don't want to use the longer stick, this part of the mod is done. If you do want to use the longer sticks, you are going to need the extension parts. First, stick a magnet onto the top of the stick. Put a small dab of glue on top of that, and press the extension part onto the top. You want to do the same thing to the top of the extension, making sure that when you're sticking the magnet, it's attracted to the magnet underneath. Once the glue dries, you should be left with the extension part with a magnet on each side. Drop the completed extension onto the top of the stem and push it into the longer stick. Once you separate them, the extension should now be left inside the long stick. Now we can move on to installing the mod. Remove these 6 screws from the back of the Ally X. The bottom middle screw is captive and will stay in the back plate. Using a pry tool, credit card or guitar pick, slide it along the seam where the two halves of the shell meet, and you should hear the clips popping loose. Once the two halves are separate, slowly tilt the back shell towards the top of the Ally, as there is a ribbon cable connecting the two halves. Flip the latch and gently remove the ribbon cable. To unplug the battery, slide the silver latch down and wiggle the connector upwards to disconnect it. Removing the joystick boards is fairly easy. You need to remove these 3 screws and unplug this ribbon. Now we can replace the stock stick with the printed one, making sure that it's securely on the stem. Now put the screws in and plug in the ribbon. Repeat the process on the left board. If you find it hard to align the board, slide something under the Ally to raise it off the surface you are working on. Making sure the battery connector latch is down, press the battery wires straight on top of the connector and slide the latch up to secure it. Put the shells back together and press till you hear the clips click back into place. Now we can screw in the back shell. Rotate the sticks to make sure they are not grinding and are seated properly on the stems. If you find that your Ally is not turning on, plug in the charger and it should start up. If this doesn't work, you may need to check the battery connector again. Hop into Armory Crate and navigate to the calibration page. Follow the directions until you have both sticks calibrated. If you find that the sticks don't reach the outer edges when calibrating, head over to Control Mode Configuration and set an outer dead zone. This should allow you to calibrate the sticks. Finally, head over to Hardware Tester and test the sticks to confirm that they are working fine. Now the mod is complete. Thank you for watching. There will be a lot more mods for the Ally X and Ally coming soon.